I would not spend a lot of time giving you Gyan. I'm Uday Cherkara. I'm from Relic. When I was waiting there at the for my turn to come in, right? I was trying to understand how can I grab some attention to the stage. So what I've done is it's a win-win situation for both of us, right? So somebody who's listening to the conversation today gets an opportunity to win an iPad, right? And that happens at the very last slide. How about that, right? Okay, so just giving a quick introduction about myself. I've been in this industry for close to 2 decades now. I help customers partner with them in their digital transformation journey as part of observability. How many of you understand what observability is? It's a very fancy word, right? Observability, right? Before I get into the aspect, because one of the reasons I want to share this information with you is to ensure there's a lot of misinformation around observability today in the industry. Every company is an observability platform today, right? So I wanted to make sure that what actually is observability and how is it different from any other monitoring solutions available in the market, right? Now, before I begin, just to, again, kind of keep you in hook, what do you understand by this image? What do you make of this image? What do you think this is? Yeah. Some artwork, yeah? Somebody's observing the artwork. Well, it's not, right? It's an elephant. Now, why did I bring this picture? Because context matters in today's world. What you focus on a certain thing might not give you a complete picture, right? And you will also find that I have a lot of things, illustrations with elephant. It's a favorite animal for me, right? Going forward, you'll see a lot of illustrations around elephant as well. Majestic animal, right? Now, if I have to define what observability is, it's the way we define as a New Relic. In New Relic, we define observability as a way to measure, right, your health, performance, and experience of your systems, applications, and customers in real time to give you real-time insights. Now, forget about the definitions. There are 3 keywords that I want you to focus on. What differentiates monitoring from observability is, if you see, experiences, customers, real time. Now, these are certain things that a monitoring solution will not give you, right? Every company is going through this digital transformation, and end users, consumers are at the top priority for every organization today, right? So any solution or platform, if they can give us a real-time insights on what the customer experiences are, what the digital experiences are, that gives you observability. Now, you may ask, there are a lot of analytics tools available in the market today, right? How is observability different from those analytic tools? Well, the answer is, those analytic tools are like system of records, like a database, right? Whereas observability platform like New Relic is a system of engagement. You engage with the platform at real time, right? If I have to give a very simple example, imagine doing fishing in a pond versus fishing in a river. Do you think there is a difference? Yeah? So that's what system of engagement means. Now, before I get into the role of what observability plays, what I'll also do is talk about the future of observability going forward, right? And there is a lot of AI in it, as expected. But then before I do that, I wanted to quickly jump on to the 4 evolutions, key evolutions that has happened in the last 40 years, right? And I have experienced each one of them. I'm not giving away my age, but then I've experienced each one of them, right? So the first one being PC era. Back in 1980s, when IBM had the first PC out, right? I begged my father, get me a PC. We used to get that assembled PC. And the only thing that I used to do with that is play Road Rash in it, right? that was the closest thing that I would do with the PC there, right? Then we moved on to the web era. Everything was Google, right? A lot of business was driven through search engines. Emails came into picture. The third important aspect was cloud and mobile. When I say cloud and mobile, the AWSs of the world, Azure, even mobile-driven economy started. Okay? And the latest one being AI. Within AI also we are developing every day, right? DeepSeek came in last week, changed everything around, right? So why do you think I'm talking about this is because our challenges around businesses also changed within these eras, right? First we started with PC, it was very simple. We knew what to monitor. A lot of point solutions started functioning in that era. Then we moved to a 3-tier architecture, it became a little complicated. The third era is when everything went out of hand, right? There was a data explosion, a lot of customers moving to cloud, a lot of new companies coming out of cloud directly, not even going the traditional way. So what happened was we kind of increased a lot of complexities, we put in a lot of money, and from a security aspect, again, a lot of challenges around security as well, right? Now, do I have to even talk about once AI is in place? Nobody knows what's happening, right? Because recently there was a report around DeepSeek kind of fishing through our data, personal data to get the information. So security also has become a very important aspect in terms of what cyber risks are involved in the AI era. Now, I don't want to quote a famous people, but then I want to quote what they have quoted, right? So there was a famous person, somebody in 2020 said, around next 10 years, only 30 to 40% of companies from Fortune 500 will exist. That's a big statement. That is a big statement. The reason is a lot of customers back then, organizations back then were very hesitant to go digital. And eventually they were out of business, right? Now, from an observability standpoint, from a Relic standpoint, these are some of the objectives that we have in mind. So I've divided it into 3 different buckets. Maximize uptime, optimize business, innovate faster. These are there for your understanding. But then if you see, these are very relevant to your digital transformation journey as well, right? What do you think is the most important thing in digital transformation? Is it technology? Is it people? What do you think? Your perspective. All together, okay. Do you think visibility is important? Right? So your people are important, your technology is important, visibility is also important, right? Again, there is another famous quote by somebody. You can only manage what you can measure, right? There's a big idea behind it, and that applies to observability as well. Now, if it was this easy, why is not every company doing observability? There should be some roadblock that is stopping us from getting into what we were at, right? Or the North Star of observability, as we call it. So there are some challenges from a technology standpoint, there are challenges from people side, but then I just want to quickly highlight on some key areas. One of the biggest challenges I personally see is tool sprawl. When I say tool sprawl, many monitoring solutions, point solutions available for each type of use cases. So for database, you might have a different solution. For network, you might have a different solution. For application, you might have a different solution. In fact, I've worked with some of the large banks, not to quote anyone here. One of the banks that I worked for had 15 different monitoring solutions in place. Imagine the kind of barrier that they have, right? Challenges of moving from these 15 different tools to one single solution. And I'm not saying this for the sake of it, I have some data to work with as well. So what we did is, every year we conduct something called as Observability Survey Report, right? It's one of its kind in the observability field. We do it every year. This is the 3rd year that we have completed the survey. I'll share certain insights from that survey, and if you are interested to know a full-fledged information or report on that, you can come to our booth. I'll share more details on that, probably use cases as well. But then one of the biggest things that we found was, in India, 45% of the organizations have more than 5 tools. right? 45%. Now, last year, we are improving, although, right? Last year, we were at around 60%. So we have come down to 45%. So this has been realized by organizations in India. The next thing is 29% of the organizations that we spoke to took at least an hour to detect high business impact. What do you think this means? It means something has gone wrong. You have realized it only after an hour, right? Imagine for 1 hour, you were not even identifying there was an issue or detecting there was an issue. 29%. Similarly, 39% of the organizations on an average took at least an hour to even resolve the issue. What do you think this is relating to? Money, right? You're spending a lot of energy, resources, time into this, fixing this issue, 1 hour to resolve a business critical issue. Imagine the revenue loss associated to it, right? And again, 34% of the organization said too many monitoring solutions. Now the challenge is, if something goes wrong, you have 10 different screens to look into, right? That's what we are trying to solve. You have one single pane of glass wherein you can view everything under one platform. Now, one important aspect, we spoke about money. Alarming situations, right? If you see the annual average outage cost for companies with full stack observability and without. Do you see the difference? With full stack, it was 42 million for last year. Without full stack, it was close to 509 million. That's the kind of, so every organization will ask me the first thing, what is the ROI? This is the ROI that I'm talking about. Yeah? Now, what is the challenge? You don't have a single platform. Again, anybody remembers the elephant and the 6 blind men situation? That's what many of the organizations are because of these tool silos, data silos that is happening in their environment, right? I've just modified it, made it a little modernized, right? But then the story remains the same. And this is the liking about elephants that I was talking about earlier, right? Now, New Relic is one such solution that gives you an all-in-one observability platform where you can send all the telemetry data to New Relic and you get all the insights around the platform. And we have invested a lot in the AI aspect. A lot of observability vendors are today catching up to be in the all-in-one observability platform, whereas New Relic has already started moving towards what we call as intelligent observability. We call it 3.0. A lot of investment is around AI. In fact, somebody today in the morning was talking about agentic AI, right? I'll show you an example which we are already doing as part of it. We have an integration with GitHub Copilot that is part of the agentic AI that we were talking about. Just to give you a scenario, let's say you have GitHub Copilot, you're managing all your releases through that. We have integrations in place with our AI agent that will, as soon as you deploy a new functionality or a new version of your software, our AI agent starts monitoring it automatically. It will compare the performance, key performance metric from the previous version. If it sees there is any difference, it will go back and talk to the GitHub Copilot and do an auto remediation, maybe a rollback or something. So you're kind of doing an autonomy in terms of how you interact with the application deployment technologies today. We have already taken that step. And if you see, we also have our industry-first Gen AI assistant that is available in the platform. What that does is it democratizes observability data. When I say democratizes, somebody who's non-technical wants to understand what's happening, open up our Gen AI assistant, ask what's on fire, it will tell you all those details. Not only tell you, it will also give you the information of what's next, how do you improve it as well, right? Said that, I just want to reiterate on the fact, we are getting better as a region, as an India, adopting observability solution, right? ROI of 4 times that is $1 spent on observability platform, you're getting an ROI of $4. Now, these are data points that we're talking about. We are not just talking in the air about anything, right? Before I end, again, a famous quote by somebody. I don't want to name that person, but then everything falls or fails all the time, right? Observability is how we ensure that these failures do not define our businesses, right? With that, I will close my conversation here. This is the QR code that I'm talking about. Please scan it, submit it. I'm personally curating it. If you give me good feedback, you have better chances of getting the iPad. How does that sound? All right, thank you very much.
All right.
I hope you got a chance to scan it. I'm sorry, Ghost. 1 minute, if you can. It's on? Yeah. Go ahead.
I'll give you a few seconds.
Thank you.